Hi, I'm Teresa Baxter. I'm the founder of the Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective. I also call myself the operations coordinator. And if you want to learn more about fair trade and our retail collective, enjoy this conversation. I found out about fair trade about 20 years ago when I started volunteering at a nonprofit store in Pasadena, California called 10,000 Villages. So 10,000 Villages has about 50 stores across the United States. They're always in high-end neighborhoods where people that shop for gifts can make an impact through fair trade. Fair trade is a standard that is set by the Fair Trade Federation, Fair Trade USA, and the World Fair Trade Organization that has essentially 10 principles of the way that we should do trade through the ethical treatment of the people that produce artists and crafts for us. Some of the overarching themes of fair trade would simply mean no sweatshop labor, no child labor, gender equity, stewardship for the planet, taking care of people over profits. That's fair trade in a nutshell. Principles of fair trade, it's just the ethical treatment of our global population and the products that they create for us. They're mainly handmade artisan wares from the least developed countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, but it's a hand up. It's economic justice, it's social justice through some of the artisan crafts that they make. I'm standing here in our Kenya section of the store. We have 20 different partners here that have their fair trade products from different parts of the world. So right now we're in Kenya, but when you come into the Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective, you're going to see a little corner of Ecuador, of Cambodia, Rwanda, Haiti, and some local groups that we work with also. So I myself carry products from the Serve brand. Many of us are faith-based here. So if I sell Serve brand, they're based in Lutheran principles. She is on a faith-based mission when she travels to Kenya. It's just a feel-good shopping experience with a great impact in social good. Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective started about 7 years ago as a social media page with Facebook and Instagram, and many of my partners, like I said, we have 20 partners here, but many of us have been friends for 10, 15 years. We all were working in Los Angeles, beginning with the Fair Trade LA program, but when my husband retired, I fell in love with Long Beach. We moved here and I organized all my friends, and this retail collective spot came together about 6 years ago, that we all collectively joined together, 20 of us sharing the rent here at this beautiful Parkview Village Shops. It's located at Carson and Bellflower, many beautiful little shopping destinations in our neighborhood. We have a post office, wonderful cafes, a Michelin star chef restaurant here, and it's just a natural fit for us to be here offering these artisan crafts for you, especially at Christmas time. Your shopping can make such a difference in the lives of people, and it might be decorating your tree with ornaments from Kenya or Peru or Nepal, and also the nativities and many faith-based items that we sell here too. Fair Trade Long Beach is going for the ultimate goal of having our City Council declare Long Beach as a fair trade town. This has been a movement that's been going on for decades. City Council for Fair Trade Los Angeles designated Los Angeles as a fair trade town. It's a system of protocols of making sure that Long Beach in general, through universities, through higher education, through congregations, and as a town, recognize how to shop for fair trade. Whether you're shopping at Ralph's and you look for their Simple Truth brand that is mainly fair trade in their coffees and fruits and bananas and sugars, I can tell you, you can shop at any drugstore in Long Beach, and if you buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream, it's 100% fair trade. So it's just an awareness campaign to promote that your citizenship is aware of what fair trade is and promotes it as a whole as a city. I can tell you that out of all the fair trade town campaigns in the whole world, Seoul is declared a fair trade city. The country of Scotland made the movement to make their whole country a fair trade country. But Fair Trade Long Beach sits on a pinnacle as being the first Fair Trade Town campaign in the whole world that organized all of us that are doing this social good under one roof as their own brick and mortar. We wish that every city would have their own Fair Trade Town campaign store like Fair Trade Long Beach is. So when I talk about our retail collective, the Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective, it's just an emporium of global good, so many nooks and crannies that will tell you the mission that we're on. Many of our products, when we do put price tags on them, it does show that this is Baskets and Beads of Kenya. It has a little synopsis of the social good that it's doing. Almost every single product in here will tell you impact. I love that when we work with the women in Rwanda, they make beautiful handcraft from fabrics that have been block printed, and the very last thing that the women in Rwanda would do with their products is sew a little heart in there because it means a lot to them with the community work that we're doing. I feel another good example would be with this section that I'm standing in. This is Baskets and Beads of Kenya. With technology, it's so inspiring because many times if you're here shopping and you shop from these women, we can take a picture of you buying one of the products from the women and we can immediately like text it or WhatsApp it to the people in Kenya. And they're just so inspired that the women here and the men that shop at the store make an impact in their communities when they buy stuff here. When we talk about fair trade and the economic impact that it has in the world, many of us, and you need to know this, many of us, a good example would be with Eldana's section here. We pay the artisan group either 100% upfront for the products that they create for us, and they come up with a business plan of a fair living wage for pricing their products. When we say a fair living wage in these countries, it's the equivalent to earning about $15 an hour here in the US. That's the impact that it has. If we're not paying 100% upfront for the product, we're paying at least 50% for the overhead. And so we do get the products here. And if there's something that's not selling or moving as quickly as we'd like it to, and if we have to put it on sale, there's no impact on the community because like I said, they've been paid 100% up front. So you can shop here and get a nice purse that was regular $40 on clearance for $30, knowing that we're the one absorbing the sale price on that. But the people that have made our product are financially set with the products that they create. So we're always asked about our global impact, but we've been interviewed by NPR and they really loved the analogy of us working also with local artists too. And I have maybe 3 examples and I'll highlight a couple, but we love saying the phrase that we're global, we're local, we're glocal. So we're your glocal shopping destination. But a couple of the examples of our partnerships that all of us have been with us through thick and thin, through COVID, through shutdowns. Many of our partners have been with us for the entire time that we've had the brick and mortar, about 6 years. One of the most special ones that I love here are the Compton Middle School students that have their Entretopia business program here. So these are 12-year-olds that have a half a spot. Most spots are 5 by 5. They've negotiated a rent for half a spot here. 12-year-olds learning ethical business and sourcing. So, and then also one of our local artists is a 14-year-old. So we're teaching business acumen with these fair trade principles. So Eli's Garden Corner creates all of our succulents for us, and it's his like little hobby after school. His mother helps him, but we know that when you buy a succulent from Eli, his profit goes directly towards his college fund. So when you walk into the Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective, I'm very approachable. I do want you to understand the concept, because if you walk in, it might be a little overwhelming if you don't understand that it's 20 separate countries, 20 separate cubby holes of fair trade goodness. So I will give you a brief overview, but then I let you take in the whole experience by yourself. We've been told that the way that the store is set up is kind of like IKEA. Once you walk in, you have to walk through every nook and cranny of the store, which is wonderful. And many times when people shop here, they're loving the experience. That's almost a little bit overwhelming, but they're like, oh, this is a 3-trip store. You have to go through 3 times to take it all in. My hope for Fair Trade Long Beach and the retail collective here in Long Beach is to always be a part of the fabric of the community here, always to be an option for people to shop purposely with meaning in gifts that they give from their heart. We're very much recognized by our city council. Our mayor promoted us last year for Shop Small Saturday. It was the only retail store he visited for Shop Small Saturday, the day after Black Friday. He met our collective, took pictures, and he explained that you have to shop at this retail collective because this shop ensures that there's zero exploitation in the entire supply chain. He brought his family shopping here for Christmas, and he wanted his daughters to learn, that you're helping a family in Mexico when you buy this ring, or you're buying these socks that give back to different nonprofits, like Socks That Find a Cure, that specifically send funds to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So we just want to be here forever for this option of shopping for social good in our beautifully, culturally diverse city that we love so much. I wish that every city had something like this. I've been talking about this too because there's a woman who's faith-based from Newport Beach, and she's like, can you help me? Can you help me wrap this concept around my head to where I could do the same thing in Newport Beach? And I said that. I want every city to have like a Fair Trade Los Angeles store, a Fair Trade Pasadena store. I know Seattle, Washington did have a 10,000 villages, and I do feel that they looked at us as our business model, because if you're a 10,000 villages, it's a great thing, but most of the products in that store have to be from the corporate headquarters of 10,000 villages. I can bring 20 of my friends doing direct trade in Ecuador, direct trade in Kenya, and you can bring so much more of the world into one store. So I know that Seattle, Washington had a 10,000 villages store, and they just recently switched the name of the store to Seattle Fair Trade. And I feel that maybe it is something that I'm doing that might be touching and resonating in different parts of the country. And I say that if you do open up a store in Houston, and because the Newport Beach store said, well, do you want a franchise? I'm like, no, I just would like a little shout out that I was maybe a little bit of an inspiration for you starting your own store in your city. What do I look for when I come into my store every day to open up at 11 a.m. and we're open till 7 p.m.? I'm looking for the products that inspire me, the ones that I know make a difference. I love the quilt cards from Vietnam. I love my Serve brand products. I love buying gifts from my store for my family at the holidays. I remember when we were shut down by COVID and there was no business for like 2 months, and I was trying to ship things out to people, have them order from our Instagram. And back then it seemed like there was a little baby boom going on. And so we were selling a lot of onesies and baby gifts and rattles and stuff in the beautiful little nook that we have that focuses on children's goods and books and crafts and things like that. And I remember thinking to myself that my niece was going to have a baby, and I thought, I better go get a gift card from Target. And I'm like, oh no, you have a fair trade store. You need to be buying your gifts from your store. And it's been that way since. So my hopes and dreams for the future of the store is, essentially a lot more outreach. And that's where church sales come in. And, we essentially set up a miniature version of our store. For example, at the Los Altos United Methodist Church coming up, I have 2 church sales this weekend. We get invited to lots of family markets, outdoor markets. I always say I'll go anywhere to be fair. I'll set up a shop in your church and you can shop and make a difference. As far as expanding into other locations, I encourage my partners to do that, to take their mission with a little bit of us to maybe a pop-up. My dream would be to maybe have a kiosk at Cerritos Mall. There'd be great impact there. Or it would be wonderful to be down in Belmont Shore, but I love our shopping village right here. I say we're here for good, and I want to stay in my roots here, but I'm open to opportunities to pop up anywhere in Long Beach and the surrounding communities. So if you want to find out more about our organization and our events and things happening at the store, we have many events at the store. We have events that are for kids and adults, and take and make classes and terrariums and making candles. It's just the whole gamut. Just follow us on social media. We are at Fair Trade Long Beach. You can look at our website that has calendars for possible marketplaces that we'll be at. So that's just www.fairtradelongbeach.com. Google us, and you'll get our phone number and our address, and look at our Yelp reviews. We're a guaranteed 5-star business on Yelp and Google. Thank you for your time today, for learning more about our Fair Trade Long Beach Retail Collective. And I ask you to make a difference in the world this holiday season and year-round by purchasing fair trade. As I always say, and it says it on my business card, be the change you wish to see in the world. Hope to see you here.